Netflix's brand new sci-fi movie The Electric State has a shocking number of cast and crew members in common with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. The Electric State debuted on Netflix on March 14, 2025, and it has already begun making waves. In addition to being Netflix's most expensive movie to date, The Electric State's Rotten Tomatoes scores reveal that audiences and critics are incredibly divided. There are myriad reasons the movie has had a mixed response, including the Electric State movie being nothing like the novel, but the impressively star-studded cast of The Electric State is certainly among the reasons many viewers have taken to it regardless. In addition to acclaimed actor Millie Bobby Brown playing the leading character, Michelle, the movie had a number of major names both on and off the screen. These cast and crew members in particular represent all the MCU actors and crew who also worked on The Electric State. The Russo brothers. The Russos directed The Electric State and several MCU movies. The Russo brothers' name will be familiar to many, as they've directed numerous major movies, including several of the MCU's biggest films. The Russos directed Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, Avengers, Infinity War, and Avengers: Endgame. They will also be directing Avengers: Doomsday and Avengers: Secret Wars, two of the biggest upcoming MCU movies. It seems big budgets for Netflix movies are also very much in the Russo brothers' wheelhouse, as before directing The Electric State, the Russos directed The Gray Man, the most expensive Netflix movie at the time. Now, The Electric State has that title. It's not all that surprising, given the projects they've worked on, that the Russos have brought a big-budget mindset to streaming services, although it raises some interesting questions about the future of Christopher Marcus. Marcus has written for multiple major MCU movies in addition to The Electric State. Christopher Marcus is yet another Electric State crew member who has a significant history working with the MCU. Before working on The Electric State as a writer, Marcus worked on Endgame, Infinity War, and Captain America: The First Avenger, among others. Marcus has also worked on prominent TV shows, including Marvel's Agent Carter. Outside the MCU, Marcus has experience working for other major franchises as well. Most notably, Marcus was a writer for The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and its sequels, The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, and The Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It seems Marcus and the Russos also have an extensive work history together, as Marcus was also a writer on projects like The Gray Man alongside the Russo brothers, Stephen McFeely. McFeely was a writer on The Electric State and multiple MCU movies. Another writer, Stephen McFeely, has also worked on multiple MCU movies in addition to being a writer on The Electric State. In fact, McFeely's projects have considerable overlap with Marcus and with the Russo brothers. McFeely has worked on Endgame, Infinity War, The Winter Soldier, Agent Carter, The First Avenger, and many others. Also like Marcus, McFeely previously worked on all three Chronicles of Narnia movies. Along with many of his Electric State counterparts, McFeely wrote for The Gray Man as well. McFeely is currently signed on for both Doomsday and Secret Wars, suggesting his relationship with the MCU, and with the Russo brothers, is far from over. Alan Silvestri. Alan Silvestri was a composer for some of the most popular movies in the last several years. Award-winning composer Alan Silvestri has worked on a staggering number of major movies, in addition to his work on The Electric State. In terms of the MCU, Silvestri has been a composer for Infinity War, Endgame, The Avengers, and others. He is also signed on for Doomsday and Secret Wars at this time, per IMDb. While these are all major titles, Silvestri's record includes a host of other movies as well. Among those projects are Forrest Gump, The Polar Express, A Christmas Carol, Ready Player One, and so many others. Silvestri has also composed for shows and series, such as Tales from the Crypt, Cosmos, A Space-Time Odyssey, and Cosmos, Possible Worlds. Ke Huy Quan. Ke Huy Quan's characters in The Electric State and the MCU are both lovable. Unlike a few other MCU actors in The Electric State, Ke Huy Quan is very easy to identify in the movie because his character is so similar to his MCU character. In The Electric State, Ke Huy Quan plays Dr. Amherst, a doctor who has found himself on the wrong side of things but who wants to do better. Even this arc is incredibly similar to Ke Huy Quan's role in Loki, in which he plays Ouroboros, or simply OB. Like Dr. Amherst, OB is a brilliant scientist who is at first working for the bad guys, in Dr. Amherst's case, Sentry, and in Ebb's case, the TVA. In both cases, though, these characters ultimately care about the people they meet, and it leads them to do the right thing. However, incidentally, Ke Huy Quan's two characters actually end up becoming quite similar, making him especially recognizable in this role. Stanley Tucci. Tucci is the main villain in The Electric State. Stanley Tucci's roles in the MCU and in the Electric State are quite different, although they share some interesting similarities. In the Electric State, Tucci's character, Ethan Skate, is the primary antagonist. As the head of Sentry, Ethan Skate has stoked the flames of the hatred between humans and robots, and he's also been harboring a horrible secret about the fate of Michelle's brother.